Why China block gay dating apps? I don't think that's true. I think you saw that on Twitter. I don't know if that's true. Chatter, this is exactly what I mean. If you get your notes from Twitter, which by the way, like you'll see, we're about to go to Chengdu. What's really funny about this is like China's gay as hell. Like just watch the stream and you will see. Like Austin's been on the apps. That's so funny. There is like, I mean, it's true. Apple removes Chinese gay dating apps on government order. Okay, but that's Apple. Blued and
okay. I really don't have the super depth, okay? So everything I'm giving with far less confidence than I would for like Middle Eastern stuff, okay? But my understanding is basically every single company in China, like all private companies, there's some Chinese hand. Like definitionally, the Chinese government always has some stake in the companies and you can never operate independently. So if some company is doing something in China, they remove something, like the government always has like a hand in being able to tell them to operate in a certain way. I believe that's one of the reasons why US companies have so much ass pain about operating in China is because in order to operate in China, you have to have some Chinese local government there, or not local government. You have to have a corporation that's established in China that you have to share intellectual property with, whatever. And then the Chinese government will always have eyes on that Chinese counterpart. And so that's one of the easy ways that they effectively lift IP from foreign companies that want to function in that market.
Two of China's most popular gay dating apps suddenly disappeared from Apple's Chinese app store, fanning fears among LGBTQ people. Dude, that's Apple.
Like it says to comply with government order. Yeah.
Wait, this happened yesterday? Okay, I'm gonna go ask people if it's like still available on Huawei. Because guess what? Not everything you read in news media is...
No, Tesla owns their own factory. This is not true for all businesses. Tesla might have had a special deal carved out, or maybe this has changed, or maybe this is just not strictly true. But that's what I said. I'm 50% confidence takes on everything I say, okay?
As it seems, is all I'm saying when it comes to stuff like this. Especially considering that even the likes of Newsweek, for example, those apps are super fucking popular, for the record. Those apps are super popular, for the record, just so you know.
This is true. Tesla's been getting the smackdown by the Chinese government and is already publicly planning to move out of China in 2 years. Okay. Tesla got fucked in China. Look at their market share now, LeMayo.
And I assume, I mean, I might be totally wrong on this, but I assume they might have done it for like data related reasons.
What is this scope?
Like privacy related reasons. As far as like, it's kind of like Grindr. I think Grindr was about to be sold. Grindr was about to be sold to a Chinese company, and then they refused to. Yeah, see, Top G is correct. We tried to buy Grindr and expand it to China, but your Congress blocked the sale because they feared of being outed. Literally, Grindr was supposed to be sold to a Chinese company, I'm pretty sure, and the American government literally blocked that deal from happening because they were like, no, too many of our dudes are sucking penises on there. Too many dudes in Congress are sucking penises on there. We can't let like the Chinese get backdoor access into this. This is a real thing that took place. And
I'm sorry, bro. Do you think that is supporting your argument? Do you think that is making your side look good?
I assume that this is basically the reverse version.
Jesus. Average anti-China propaganda. The real reason it was pulled was because Blued and Finca was storing user data in Taiwan and Korea. Are there any Chinese queer dating apps? Asking for a friend. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of them. China is one of the most LGBTQ friendly countries in the world. Exclamation mark. Could I have a recommendation on how to find out more info on LGBT rights in China? Someone happened to make a video about this topic today. In my opinion, the video is pretty unbiased. Thank you very much. I want accurate info on China. That's not US propaganda. That is not true. Same-sex couples cannot marry or adopt, and there are no explicit anti-discrimination laws on sexual orientation or gender. LGBTQ advocacy groups and public events like Shanghai Pride have been shut down or suspended, and online content has been censored. All social media must be through government-approved app only. Also, being transgender is still classified as a disorder. Isn't gender-affirming care, including surgery, subsidized in the People's Republic of China, the PRC? Keep in mind that pride washing is a real thing that liberals use as infiltration. Like why these two specific apps of supposedly many can't confirm were taken down. Oh no, they were trying to infiltrate with the gay apps. Oh no! The PRC is very invested in keeping US influence in check. I'm queer and agree that the CPC is lagging behind on meeting the progressive citizens of the PRC where they are on LGBTQ issues like adoption and marriage, but it's far from hell. Wow. As a queer Chinese person.
Popular left-wing Twitch streamer Hasan Piker stirred up controversy online while on a trip in China. Piker and his group were attending the flag-raising ceremony at Tiananmen Square in Beijing on Tuesday.
The famous ceremony is attended by tens of thousands of people every day. During his live stream of the event, Piker said the whole thing was unusual to him, as he described himself as not being a patriotic person. Let's watch.
What makes it interesting for me, at least, is like seeing so many.
Oh, wait, hold on. Holy shit. Wait, I wasn't clicking the right tab. You have prepay and save, or you can look at standard rates. The premium suite is 80,000 CNY. The terrace is 100,000. The Bulgari one is 280,000 CNY to USD, would be $40,000 a night. He said they were in the top room. Has he streamed it all, like walking around inside this? Does he actually have this room? There is no shot, right? Has there been any more streams from inside? Parking and transportation, offsite parking fee. Bro, if I paid $40,000 a night for a hotel room and they charged me anything for parking, I'd be like, are you fucking serious?
People from all over the country literally travel here just to see this.
That part is insane.
Like I just don't, like, I don't have any sort of patriotism in my heart for America, but just in general. I'm not like a very, I care about people.
Yeah.
How do you have no patriotism for your own country and then you're over here glazing China?
So for me, it's like, it's hard to comprehend.
Earlier in the live stream, Piker's crew were stopped by police at the event and were instructed to put away the phone they were using to record. The broadcast then went offline for a few minutes, but when they returned, Piker brushed off the incident. He acknowledged that there are, in fact, limitations on live streaming in China, but said, quote, "It's not as bad as silly Americans imagine it is."
Piker was ripped by conservatives for downplaying the incident and for his comments about not being patriotic. Right-wing influencer Isabella DeLuca wrote on X, Hasan Piker says in China, I don't have any patriotism in my heart for America. Okay, stay in China.
So how many of their friends did they fly? Did they really spend $100,000? No shot.
And popular ex-user Drew Pavlu writes, Hasan is literally pro-CCP. He's defended the Chinese Communist Party in his live streams dozens of times. Hilarious. I think that was this is a fair enough. He is just so disparaging of our great nation and any infringements on his precious liberties, and which he should be disparaging of infringements on his liberties. But then he's in China, I'm sorry, I don't care what the left thinks about this, a much more repressive country than ours. And I don't really think you're the kind of progressive to deny that. So I'm not actually going to fight very much here, but you know that there are people who do. And they literally tell him to stop filming, and he doesn't care. If anyone in America told him to stop filming, or like a cop tried to say, no, he would go.
He would lose his mind. True.
Which is fine, which he should. We can all be object to that kind of censorship. But then China, it gets shrugged off. Maybe it gets shrugged off because he doesn't want his stream taken down there or whatever. I don't know, but I get annoyed by that. I'm not someone who feels like a need to be like rah patriotism all the time either. That can be a cover for actually bad foreign policy ideas, as we learned in the aughts. But when you then downplay the harms of a much more repressive regime, then I start to feel a little patriotism twings at my heartstrings. Yeah. Is that fair?
It is. Well, it is fair. I agree with you more about the China element than about the patriotism, because I would defend him a little bit on what he said on the patriotism, because the right-wing commentator portrayed it as purely sort of anti-Americanism. And to me, what he seemed to be saying was he's just not one of those people who is demonstrative in a sort of flag-waving sense about patriotism. And, I would largely share that. I mean, before I came to this country, when I was living in...
That China is just another country, just like any other country. There's good, there's bad, there's criticisms that you can make.
Wow, Mihach, thanks for the 3 gifted tier 1 subs, buddy.
Which I do. And also, there's a lot of good. The people are great. The food is amazing. The culture is amazing. And I am very fortunate. I'm very fortunate to be able to actually experience it firsthand, right? But of course, all the foreign affairs people who are aware of me are not very fond of my China trip. Hasan Piker slowly becoming the new Jackson Hinkle, doing Chinese propaganda for a living. Insane.
True.
Yeah, it's stuff like this. It's stuff like this that I find to be so strange, because like, you should be able to go to countries, okay? Like, there is no comparison between China and like Israel, for example. You know what I mean? Like, nobody gives me this much grief when I go to Japan. Okay.
Was he doing propaganda for Japan? Saying Japan was a perfect place with a perfect past and a perfect government and has always been perfect? Or I don't know.
Like, nobody's like, dude.
Oh, here's a book from the emperor where they say they've never done anything wrong ever. Or
I can't believe you've traveled to Japan and you love. Oh, God.
He was glazing, yes. No, you fucking retard. There's a difference between glazing the country and engaging in like actual political propaganda about the country. Any Westerner that goes to Japan is probably going to glaze the country. There's probably a lot of people who would glaze fucking Shanghai if you went there. That wouldn't surprise me. But there's a difference between being like politically like, oh, there's a lot of propaganda on people and propaganda. Tiananmen Square, I've never heard that. Ice cream. Like, there's a difference between glazing and doing like political propaganda.
This guy's mentality is so stupid. 3 people with almost identical foreign policy stances.
True.
Oh my God. Finnish PhD candidate. Oh my God. Why is NatSeg Twitter like this? I mean, it makes sense.
What was this? The Tiananmen Square massacre never happened. Hakim. Video is available for free on his Patreon because it was recently removed. Likely mass reported. Nice.